Love is poetry, poetry is Fazza. I have heard people say that poetry is only made of words, lines, and beautiful rhymes. I used to believe that too. But life has taught me something different. Poetry is not only written with a pen, sometimes it is written with kindness, with patience, with silent prayers, and with a heart that chooses love every single day. Love is poetry because it cannot always be explained. It is felt in the smallest moments. It lives inside a gentle smile, a warm greeting, a hand held during difficult times, and a quiet promise that says, I am here no matter what happens. And poetry is Faza, because every beautiful verse reminds me of a heart that values loyalty, respect, generosity, courage, and compassion. It reminds me that true greatness is never measured by titles or wealth, but by the kindness we leave behind in the lives of others. Love is poetry, poetry is Fazza. The morning sky writes poems with sunlight, the evening breeze writes poems through peaceful silence. The stars write poems across the night, and every sincere heart writes poetry through the way it loves. When I think about love, I do not think of perfection. I think of two people choosing each other every morning. I think of forgiveness after misunderstandings. I think of patience during difficult days. I think of smiles that appear even after tears have fallen. That is the kind of poetry no book can fully capture. Every heartbeat carries its own rhythm. Every dream carries its own verse. Every memory becomes another page in the story. We continue writing together. Love is poetry. Poetry is Fazza. Because poetry does not ask for applause. It quietly reaches the heart. It reminds us that gentle words can heal wounds that loud voices never could. It teaches us that kindness is stronger than pride and hope is stronger than fear. Sometimes I imagine life as one long poem. Childhood becomes the opening verse, dreams become the middle chapters, love becomes the most beautiful pages, and gratitude becomes the final line that gives meaning to everything that came before it. If love is poetry, then every smile becomes a sentence, every act of kindness becomes another stanza, every promise honestly kept becomes another unforgettable verse. I believe the finest poems are never rushed, they grow slowly, just like trust, just like friendship, just like true love. Every sunrise adds another line, every sunset closes another chapter, every tomorrow offers a blank page waiting to be filled with hope. Love is poetry. Poetry is Fadza, because poetry teaches us to notice beauty where others see only ordinary things. A quiet conversation, a peaceful walk, a cup of tea shared together, a gentle laugh, a familiar voice saying your name. Those little moments become treasures that remain in the heart forever. Life will never be free from storms. There will be days when dreams seem far away. There will be nights filled with questions instead of answers. Yet, even then, poetry continues. Hope continues, love continues. The strongest poems are often written after the hardest battles. That is why they touch us so deeply. If one day my words are forgotten, I hope my kindness is remembered. If my poems disappear, I hope the love inside them remains alive in someone's heart, because words alone do not change lives. The heart behind those words does. Love is poetry, poetry is Fazza. Not because of perfect language, not because of complicated expressions, but because both remind us that beauty lives inside sincerity. That strength can remain gentle, that kindness can become unforgettable, that a faithful heart is more valuable than anything money can ever buy. Years from now, seasons will change. Time will quietly leave its marks upon us all, but true poetry will never grow old. It will continue living inside every honest smile, every loyal promise, every forgiving heart, every act of compassion, and every soul that chooses love over hate. So if someone ever asks me what poetry truly is, I will simply smile. I will not point toward books resting on dusty shelves. I will point toward hearts that still believe in kindness, toward people who love without pretending, toward ordinary lives made extraordinary by compassion, toward hope that refuses to disappear, because that is where the greatest poems have always lived. Love is poetry, poetry is Fazza. Every new day adds another verse that no one planned, another page that no one expected, yet somehow every line finds its place. That is the quiet beauty of love. It does not force its way into life, it gently becomes part of it until one day you cannot remember what life felt like before it arrived. Love is poetry, poetry is Fazza. Every act of generosity is a verse, every honest promise is a rhyme, every hand extended to someone in need becomes a line that deserves to be remembered. The world may celebrate loud achievements, but the heart celebrates quiet goodness. A smile offered to a stranger, a family reunited after forgiveness, a friend who stays when everyone else leaves. Those are poems